how to get your targets out on an instant date with you within minutes and sometimes even just seconds after approaching them. Now, one thing you have to understand about the game is that the game has changed. And those days of getting the girl's phone number and then trying to get her out on a date with you afterwards are over. Okay, it's just over and it no longer works. And the reason it no longer works is an invention called smartphones. And practically every young hot girl on the planet these days has a smartphone. And the thing about having a smartphone is it makes it very, very easy for any chump out there to get a girl's phone number. So it no longer sticks out in her mind as special. Any guy can now walk right up to any young hot girl and go, "Hey, can I get your number?" And in most cases, she will give it to him. She will just give it to him because she knows she can easily ignore his calls and she can never respond to his texts, which most young hot girls do. They never answer your calls and they never respond to your texts. Like, yeah, she'll give you her phone number. She has no problem doing that, but she will never answer your calls or respond to your texts. Never, ever. It just doesn't work anymore. And, you know, you might think, then why would she give me her phone number? You know, if she's never going to answer my calls or respond to my texts. And the answer is because young hot girls love the attention. They just love the attention, even though they have no intention of ever answering your calls or ever responding to your texts. Okay, they just love the attention and they love seeing their phone ring. And while most average chumps out there are happy to pump up her ego and give her all the attention she craves, as a professional pickup artist, we have better things to do. So these days, getting a girl's phone number is completely useless. Okay, it's completely useless in most cases. Now I say in most cases because most guys are not willing, much less do they have the skill to work solid game on these young hot girls to the point where they won't get flaked on. Most guys just are not willing, and much less do they have the skill to sit there and stay in set with a girl and actually build comfort, rapport, and a solid emotional connection with her, a bond to the point where the girl won't flake on them. Most guys aren't willing to do that. And truthfully, most guys don't have the skill to do that. You know, A, because they never learn this stuff, and B, because they'd rather just walk up to the girl, get her phone number real quick, and then bounce, hoping that the girl doesn't flake on them. But in reality, she does, right? And you really can't blame her for flaking on a guy who just walks up to her randomly, grabs her phone number real quick, and then takes off. You cannot blame young hot girls for flaking on a guy that she didn't even get to know, a guy that didn't even give her a chance to get to know him. So she has no emotional investment in this guy whatsoever. There's no incentive for her to even answer her phone or return his texts. But shockingly, this is how most guys approach these young hot girls, even to this day. And then they wonder why they get flaked on so much. They turn around and wonder, like, you know, what's wrong with me? Or what's wrong with this girl? And they don't really take the time to sit there and understand what they're doing wrong. So understand, walking up to the girl, doing this half-ass approach, getting her phone number real quick, and then suddenly taking off is not going to get her to magically pull down her pants for you. Mostly for the reason that you didn't give her any time to get to know you, to even want to get to know you. And that's one of the most basic fundamentals for getting a girl to have sex with you. Right? The faster she gets to know you, the faster she will have sex with you. And for the record, she needs to get to know the real you. Okay? The real you, without all of these filters of politeness and without all of these fake behaviors that you think will impress her. She needs to know who you really are. The same way that a longtime friend of yours or family member would know you. Okay, she needs to know you that well. She needs to feel that she knows you that well before she has sex with you. And you can't create that feeling if all you're doing is walking up to girls, getting their phone numbers, and then quickly taking off right after, like most guys. And I do understand why most guys do this. It's generally because they're shy, it's scary and it's intimidating to actually sit there with this complete stranger, this young hot girl, and actually hold a conversation with her without doing anything stupid or saying anything stupid. So believe me, I do get it. But this is why you always want to be coming from that screening frame that I teach you guys, where you are holding the cards and you are controlling the frame and you are possessing the value, so that you don't experience those emotions where you're feeling intimidated, you're feeling scared, and you're feeling shy. Okay, you've got to come from that screening frame to where you don't feel like you're wasting her time, but almost like she's wasting your time, right? And you genuinely want to screen her to find out who she is, find out what she's about, find out if you even like her, find out if she's just another pretty face living off of her looks like most hot girls out there, or if she has something more to offer than just her looks. The point is, you genuinely want to find these things out about her, and really you can't do that if all you're doing is walking right up to her, grabbing her phone number real quick, and then taking off. Because when you do that, all you are communicating to the girl is that you are no different from all of those other chumps out there who approach her. All of those other chumps out there who walk right up to her, grab her number real quick, and then suddenly take off, hoping that she doesn't flake on them. Okay, when you do that, understand you are not showing her that you are any different from those chumps. And even worse, all you're showing her is that all you're really interested in about her are her looks and nothing else. Okay, you're not interested in getting to know her. You're not interested in her getting to know you. So like most hot girls, she's just gonna feel like an object and she's not gonna respond to you. Okay, she might give you her phone number, but she will never respond to you. So really, really understand how critical it is if you want the girl to actually invest in you so that she doesn't flake on you and actually becomes attracted to you. Really, really understand how critical it is to get her to emotionally invest in you. And the way that we do that is by genuinely getting to know the girl and genuinely giving her that same opportunity to get to know us, so that she doesn't feel like an object around us, and so that she can begin to develop those feelings of attraction for us. And you just can't make this happen if all you're doing is running up to your targets, grabbing her phone number real quick, and then suddenly taking off. Because there's no substance to that type of approach. There's no substance in that type of interaction. It's good to do this when you're first starting out. If you're a brand new newbie, it's good to go out there and just grab girls' phone numbers, and then take off if you want to, just because you want to wire your brain to believe that it's actually possible. But after you get good at doing this, you want to graduate from doing this, and you want to start having those deeper interactions with your target that will actually cause her to emotionally invest in you and become attracted to you. So these days, very, very rarely will I go for the number. The only time I'll actually go for the number is when I can't get the girl out on an instant date with me right then and there. That's the only time that I'm gonna go for the number, is when the logistics just aren't there. She might have a dentist appointment to get to. She might be running late for work, etc., etc., where there's just no way that she has any time to go on a quick date with me. That is the only time that I will get her number. And even then, as I'm getting her number, I will literally stand there right in front of her trying to make plans for later that day, because I want to see her as soon as possible, and I want to start building that emotional connection with her before she forgets who I am. Especially these days, because these young hot girls out there are getting hit on so much that I know just from experience, those first 24 hours after meeting her are critical for establishing that emotional connection with her, that bond, so that she doesn't forget who I am and that she starts to actually invest in us. Okay? She starts to invest in us. So my goal, if I can't get my target out with me right then and there, My goal is to set up a date with her for later that day, the moment she's free. Okay, the moment she's free, where I can sit with her and I can start building that emotional connection with her, where she gets to know me and I get to know her, so that I'm not just another faceless pickup artist out there that approached her that day. Because that's the last thing you want to be. You don't want to be another faceless pickup artist out there approaching this girl. Instead, you want to be that guy that she feels like she's known her entire life. That guy that she feels comfortable with.